Good evening, everyone. How is everybody? I think I have everything in order. It looks in order here. So, as usual, I just wait for your confirmation that you can see me and hear me properly. I can see, what do I have? 7, 8 people now online with me. So, hello, everyone. Hello to the 7 of yous. Andrus, how you doing? Good to see you. Back again. Who do we have? Mr. Kosh again. Thank you very much, Mr. Kosh. Good to see everybody. Evening, Dave. Good to see you too. So I suppose everything is working and everybody can see me at the moment. So I don't see any messaging of complaints. All eyes on me. Ooh, thanks, Dirk. How are you? So, again, another week. All right, excellent. I'm getting used to this. If I don't get any bugs in the system, but it's okay at the moment. So, Aaron, how you doing? Thanks for joining, Aaron. Yes, another week, and pretty much the same again. Still in lockdown. Lockdown has eased a little bit for us this time. Paddling, how are you? Thanks for joining, Paddling. Yes, now we are allowed here to travel inside our own county. So the 5K is definitely finished for the moment. Hopefully it won't come back, because 5K was a killer. We had that since after Christmas, and it was a pain in the butt. So now I can go everywhere in my own county to fish, so it's not bad. I went out about 2-3 days ago. Another day full of jacks. The place that I went. Steve, how you doing? Thanks for joining, Steve. The place that I went definitely got colder. It was a shallow lake, and lost about 2 degrees in the water. So the pikes were a little bit shy, and the big pike were shy anyway, that's for sure. The little one were fine. The little one were very happy to show themselves, but they were still showing some signs of pre-spawn. They had a lot of these what we call the nuptial spots. They have the little, it looks like fungus on their back and the top of their heads, so that means they are full spawning in some place, but I expect that to be over very soon. So Mike, how you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Good quality, Mr. Kosh. Thank you. We're gonna try to keep it that way. So yeah, hopefully I'll be getting into some more fishing. I have that video that I'm gonna work on. How do I approach a new lake? So I found a nice lake in the county that I haven't fished. It's way on the other side of the county. It's about an hour's drive from me. I've never fished that lake. I fished some around that lake, but I never fished that one. So, XP, how you doing from Germany? Good to see you. Hope all is good in Germany, my friend. So I'll be working on that video. It'll probably be maybe a 2-part video. I don't know, because I probably will be doing a little bit of overnight staying over there, because I don't want to be driving back. So because it's a big venue, I'd say it's gonna need 2 days. But you'll get the whole explanation. How do I approach a lake like that to fish for pike? And then the vlogs will probably start to vary to a different route. I'm doing something a little bit different. Hope you guys will like it. I'm kind of gearing up towards that new style. It's going to take a little bit of time, but they'll be coming anyway, so don't you worry. Paddling, you can go everywhere now. Okay, and the pike season is opening next Saturday. Good to see that. Good to see that. Back in the water. That's all what we need at the moment. A little bit of a headspace. So yes, tonight we're going to do some perch flies. We all like a little bit of a change from the pikes. The perch are good fun to catch too. My perch fly definitely are probably different than what you used to see, because like I said, I'm showing you what works for me and what works here. And in Ireland we have a very hard time to get big perch regularly. Big perch are very rare. They're, I wouldn't say very rare, but they are fairly rare. We usually catch them by accident while fishing for pike. But when you target perch, the problem that we have here is that because there is very little predatory fish to feed on perch, because the only other predator that we have in the waters would be trout and pike. There's no zander, there's no catfish, there's nothing like that that could eat the perch. So what's happening in the locks here, we have an overpopulation of perch in some places, and resulting in huge shoals of perch. But the problem that they have, they kind of affected by dwarfism. They don't grow very big. They all stay about that kind of size, and but you get massive shoals. It's crazy. I actually have to try to break my record. I think I'm about 180, 185 trout in a day. Perch in a day's fishing. So when you get to the shoal, it's just crazy. It's one after the other, but they all in big shoals. They're all about that size, and it's very, very difficult to find the big one. So the other problem that I have as well. Salut Pascal, comment va? Merci de nous rejoindre. The other problem that we have fly fishing for perch here as well is that if you get any size of a fly that's getting a little bit too big, and by too big I'm not even, I'm talking about, let's give you some size. If you have a fly that's maybe even over 4 or 5 centimeter long, you get pike, and that's a big problem that we have. So that's difficult, because even if we try, who do we have? Aaron got his Congo and Northern Flash deadly. You're going to be busy for a good while now. Lucas, how you doing? Fishing and free diving in Ireland. How are you, Lucas? Thanks for joining. So yes, going back to the perch fly, if I tie anything bigger than, let's say, 4 to 5 centimeter, I'm constantly pestered by pikes of all sizes. Actually, one of the 2 flies that I'm going to tie tonight, I called it the pogs mcbunny, because the first pike that I got on it, I got it by accident because I was looking for trout, and it was actually a pike over 15 kilo. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes big fish don't mind having a snack on a small fly. Actually, there is a video on my channel. It's called the Pogs mcbunny, where I tie that fly, and it's mixed with the fight of that pike that I had. Actually, I was surprised by the length of the fight, because I put the GoPro as soon as I hooked that fish, and I think the whole fight lasted about just under 6 minutes. And I was fishing that on 5 weight, I think. So that was hard going, but I had a big leader, because that's the problem that we have. Like I said, if we fish any size over 4 or 5 centimeters, we get constantly pike, and then you get bitten off, you lose your flies. So I usually fish barbless, so I have no worries. I know that the flies are going to just fall off the pike's mouth. It's going to shake it out. That's not a problem. But every time you lose a fly, and it's getting annoying after maybe 5-10 pikes in a day, and you're losing all your flies because you're getting cut off by pike. I tried fishing with very, very thin titanium, multi-strand titanium. It works, but it definitely doesn't work as nice as a fluorocarbon leader for trout. So it's a kind of a hit and miss when you use a big fly here. I know in some other countries, especially on the continent, France and Spain and Holland and all these places, you guys can actually target big perch by fishing decent flies. I mean, flies around the 10 centimeter, maybe 15 centimeter for some places. But here it's just impossible to do, because if we do that, we are constantly pestered by pike. So that's the 2 problems we face. The amount of pike about, and the lack of big perch. So it's very hard to get decent perch. So for that, I kind of fish flies that are in about the 4 to 5 centimeter then. One that I tied, the first one that we're going to tie today, it's this guy. You probably saw it on the Instagram there lately. Let's see if it focuses on that. There you go. This is a great little fly. I used to tie it with normal crazy legs, any types of crazy legs. or the round legs like this, any rubberized legs like that. They work quite well. There you go, any type of crazy legs like that. They worked quite well, but the only problem that I have is that they didn't last long. And what I started doing, Pascal, thanks for the beer, Pascal. And again, guys, thanks again for the support lately, and welcome to the new members on the YouTube channel. It's really nice to see. Like I said, I'm working on a different style of vlogs coming out, something a little bit more pleasurable to watch, or hopefully. So thanks for everybody that's coming onto the membership on YouTube. It's really nice to see. The memberships they start at $1.99 per month, and if you're fed up with it, if you're not happy, you can cancel that any way that you want. So it's a nice way to help. $1.99 is not too much, but the more you guys are, the better it is. So thanks for all the ones that have joined already. And like you said, from last week, I'm not as active on Facebook, but I'm more concentrating my effort on YouTube. So actually on the YouTube community page, I do post. Thank you, Ben. Thanks for the beers. Nearly a big 6-pack. Thanks, buddy. Really nice. Much appreciated, buddy. So yes, I'm more active on Facebook on the community page, and I am actually posting there just for the members. So it's a members, a little added extra for people who wants to put money towards the channel. So I can have a one-on-one with them, and you can ask me questions and comments on that if you're subscribed and members of the channel. So that's a nice little thing to have. So yes, that first fly, I used to tie it with crazy legs, and then I changed over to the squirmy worm, the one that you buy for trout, to tie the notorious San Juan worm. These have so much more movement, you can see, and they are very more resilient. They are really, really stretchy, so they don't break as easy as the crazy legs. So really, really stretchy and crazy amount of movement. They come in many different colors, and this fly I've actually caught different species. I've caught trout, I even caught bream on it, hybrids, perch, pike, of course, and some that I sent to France guys have actually caught chub, and I'm pretty sure that they would catch carp as well if tied maybe with smaller legs. That'll work too. JB, merci, salut JB, merci de nous joindre. So that's the first fly we'll tie tonight. The second one, it's the pogs mcbunny, like I said. So this is the second one. Of course, a bunny fly. I absolutely adore bunny, as you know. This one too, I caught so many types of different predatory fish, from trout, from pike, perch. I got even saltwater fishing. We caught some pollock on that. So it's a really good all-rounder type of small flies. You can tie it in a bigger size for pike if you want, but like I said, this would be the maximum size for perch. I would go here, because even with that size of a fly, pike will go for that all the time. And it's actually on this one that I got pike over 15 kilo. So yeah, they catch big and small fish, these ones. Hooks. The hooks I tied, I usually small size. I would go for a size 6, like this Kona XXS, extra strong stinger. I really like them. They're fairly strong. I usually like to tie with strong hooks, because like I said, it's quite often you get pikes by catch, and if you're lucky enough that it's hooked in the scissors, it's not going to snap your leader. You're probably going to land that pike, so you need a fairly strong hook. Maximum size that I would go really big, and even that's a little bit overkill to me, would be a 1-0. I would go maybe for the size just below that. But again, this is a nice hook. That's the C70 SD from Mustad, big game. Super strong hook, and it has a nice long shank as well. It gives you a bit of room to tie these flies. So let's I think everybody's here. Let's go and start tying this. Getting thirsty. Oh yeah, while we're talking about flies, come back here. The one that I got the most perch on, it's actually this little guy. And this one is an absolute killer of a little fly. It's inspired on a carp fly. It's just some ultra chenille with a little bit of dubbing, and then little collar of hackle and little bead at the front. And this one, yeah, I think I have to check my numbers. I think my record is 182 or 185 perch in a day. And I had loads of bycatch on that. I got bream. I'd love to get a tench on these. I'm sure they would go. It's a very blood-warmy. But that's for here. That's a really good perch fly as well. So, and again, it'll double as a really good carp fly if you have carp in your area. Okay, I'm going to tie the flies on the 1-0 hook tonight. So like that, it's a little bit bigger, so you can properly see it. Because the quality of the live stream, it's not great for small flies. So we're going to go with the 1-0. Thread, I'm using a slightly lighter thread. I have either a 50D or 100D. It's plenty enough for that. So hopefully you guys can see. I might just move the camera a little bit. There you go. That's not too bad. So let's tie the first one, the squirmy worm. Now don't be tempted to buy the squirmy ones that comes like on those stress balls that you have with loads of little spikes. They are nice, but they don't last. The rubber that's used actually becomes really bad and starts sticking to each other, and it melts into your fly box. So definitely go paddling fly. Merci buddy, much appreciated. Merci beaucoup paddling. So definitely go for the one that's sold as the squirmy worms. These ones, they don't melt, they don't deteriorate, they stay pretty well, and you have them in many different colors, so definitely go for that type. So we start at the back. We're gonna get one length of worm like that. I'm going to tie it in the middle on top of the hook, well, on either side, and wrap it around. These flies are fairly quick to tie anyway. Don't squeeze too much, okay? You don't want to put too much pressure because you'll be damaging the worm. Doesn't take too much to hold. So that's all you want, just 2 little bits at the back, hanging at the back. About the same length of your hook is plenty. You can make them a little bit longer if you want, but on that size it's just plenty for what we need. I'll put a dab of glue. For this one, I like to weigh it a bit, but I don't like to weigh it too much. I usually go for bead chain eyes, the large size. These little bead chain eyes in large. I don't want it to sink too much. The other one, the pogs, the rabbit one, is one with a heavy eyes on it, and it'll sink fairly quickly. This one I like it just to sink, but not too fast. Now don't tie it straight in at the eye of the hook, leave it a little bit of room at the back. Okay, so we have time, a little bit of place to finish it up at the front. Make sure it's holding. Okay. Now what I put is a little bit of chenille. If you have a little bit of a sparkly chenille like that, all the better. It's good too. Hold on, I'm missing some. You're gonna laugh, Dave. I still did not get sorted with the super glue. I just didn't go to the shops. Like, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I don't tie too many flies for myself at the moment, so I don't really have a need for new super glue. But I will go and get some super glue. Who do we have? I have the device in the middle there, so I'm struggling to see the comments. Geoffrey, thank you. Geoffrey caught his first pike, and no problem. I'm glad I helped you, and that's what I enjoy doing, so no problem at all. You're welcome. Hopefully, it's the start of many pike to come. So, tie the chenille, and then we're going to get some nice woolly bugger hackles. These ones are for whiting. They're sold in actually as woolly bugger in the woolly bugger packs. It comes, but any hackle that you have will do the job. Really, it's not fussy for the perch. It's only to make it a little bit more, give it a more buggy style to your fly. Give it some legs and a bit of movement. I'll just pull them out a bit, brush it the other way, and tie your hackle with your chenille. Like so. Leave the hackle at the back, bring the thread forward. And now we're just going to wrap that chenille onto the hook. And bring it up to the front. Right at the eyes here. I'm going to secure it. I'll do. And now just behind the eyes, we're going to put one squirmy, but the same length as the one at the back. I'm going to put 1/2 on the other side, just behind the eyes. So halfway, one like this, and then halfway, one like this. Make sure it's sitting properly. We'll keep that chenille because we're going to finish the head with that chenille, but we're going to bring now the hackle. I'm going to wrap it around. All the way till you get to these front legs, and then where the front legs, try to pass it in between the legs. Okay, where the one leg is joined there, we're going to put it in between the two legs, and at the back same thing. And now we're going to put it at the front of the legs. couple of wraps. That's it. And now we can secure the end of that hackle. Snip off the end. And all we have to do now is bring that chenille up to the head. So across the eyes and a couple of wraps at the nose. And we secure it. And cut it off. Whip finish. A bit of glue or some UV resin. You can pull a bit on those legs to put them back to where you want. And that's basically it. Fairly simple, fast. Focus. Oh, tons of movement and really, really easy. So that's the first one. Let's see if I missed anything. Mike, what's your usual setup for perch? I fish them either way with a 5 weight, but because here I always encounter pikes, and sometimes you can get a big fish on these really silly small flies. I tend to fish it fish them on a 6 weight. It's a little bit overkill for the perch that we have here, but like I said, you always have the chance to hook a big pike, so it's a nice one to have as a backup, a 6 weight. But I fish them in 4 or 5 weights. But now I kind of fish them on a 6 weight just to be safe if I do get a big pike in the between. Lines that I use a simple fly lines. What do I have here? I think I have one. I have a floating one. Usually I fish them in rivers, so floating line is perfect. I have what do I have here? I don't have any here, but I have the scientific angler. I think it's the, which one is it? I have the airsail one, and what's the other one? The other one is the airflow as well, the Kelly Galloop streamer fly line. It has a sink tip, and you can cut back the sink tip as well. So I have one floating and one with a sink tip. That's what I use for perch. Of course, fiberglass. I use the Epic Salsa, the 6 weight Epic, because maybe it's a little bit overkill in 6 weight, but the fiberglass still give you that bit of fun at the back, and that bit of a bend when you get a nice fish. So you still enjoy the fishing with it, and you still can cast decent flies. So that's it. So yeah, so this one you can either tie it with normal crazy legs, or you can use the squirmy worms as well. So that's the one, and they have loads of movement. They're really fun to fish. Right, second one. I'm gonna do the pogs now. Only one fly. I only fish one fly. I don't like double fly. Even when I trout fish, I never enjoy really fishing 2 flies. I feel like I'm sea fishing, like for mackerel. I usually fish one fly only. Leader is fairly simple. I use the ready-made trout leaders, and I tie that to some fluorocarbon at the back. So what do I have here? This is one. I just whoop that up, and a little length of fluorocarbon at the bottom, and hope that I don't get any pikes. The problem is, like I said, we are constantly pestered by pike. When you look for them, they don't want to come, and when you don't look for them, they are annoying you all the time. So see you, Geoffrey. Thanks for visiting. I'm not too sure if there'll be a stream next week. I'm not too sure what to make it about. So if you guys have any ideas or you want to see something, just send me a message. Either way, on the community page on YouTube or on Instagram, you can get me there. But I don't have anything planned as yet. But if there is any upcoming streams, the best way not to miss them, of course, is just be subscribed to the channel and click on that notification bell, and you'll have all the upcoming streams. So like I say, I'm starting to work onto new videos, so I'm getting a bit more time to do that. Mr. Kosh, another order going to Epic. Yeah. I mean, like, once I started using Epic, I was really taken by them. Actually, the first fiberglass rod I had was a Blue Hello. It was a 5-weight, and I just loved how much fiberglass was responsive for fly fishing. The 5-weight, of course, I never used it for pike, but I was using it for trout and perch, and I was amazed by how subtle you can land a dry fly for trout on fiberglass. I don't know. It fits my style of casting, but I'm definitely sold to fiberglass since quite a few years now, and I don't see myself moving too much from it. Definitely not. Like, so, and even for small fish like that, you get a good bend in the rod. It's good fun. So, again, same hook. We'll go for that mustard. I tie the pogs. Actually, I call that one the pogs mcbunny, because mcbunny, of course, because it's made out of a bunny. But the pogs part, it's that fish over 15 kg was a pug nose. So I don't know if you're all familiar with pug nose. It's just a malformation that pike sometimes have, where their upper jaw is shorter than the lower jaw, so they have that little nose hanging down like that. So we call them pugs. So that fish was not only was we see them like as little unicorns when we catch pugs. They're usually liked by pike anglers because there's not too many, and it's kind of fun to see them. But to get a pug and one over 15 kilo, that was pretty awesome. So I will put tomorrow, once that video renders, I will put the link to the Pogs mcbunny underneath, or stroll through my videos and you can find it as well. So it was a good fight. I was fishing, I think, funny enough, I was on the trout lake, and I decided to fish for trout the whole day on that lake. No, sorry, my intention was to go and catch pike, because I know there is big pike on that lake, because they are fed by trout. And we fished all morning solid for pike, with 10 weights and big flies and smaller flies as well, without any results. So the afternoon, I knew that the pike were not feeding, so I did bring my 5-weight, and I said, what the hell, I'll give a bash to some rainbows, and put, even the rainbows were sitting low. We couldn't see any coming to the surface. There was no hatch. There was nothing. Fairly cold day, so decided to strap on, put on Sync 6, I think I put on, and put the little Pogs mcbunny, cast out in the middle of the lake, let it sink. And I think the first couple of retrieve, I felt like a big weight, and I thought I was basically hooked on the bottom of the lake, because I could lift the weight. Like I was like, pulling up, and there was movement. I could feel that I was lifting something off the ground, but that thing was not moving. So I thought it was an old fertilizer bag or a big branch or something like that. So I kept on pulling and pulling and pulling, and that thing was coming up and up and up till it arrived about, I'd say it was about 6-7 meters deep. I probably lifted off 2 meters off the bottom, and all of a sudden the line starting just to move slowly like this. And that's when I realized it's not a bag. Or a tree. It's definitely a fish, and I knew it was a big pike. And as that pike didn't had a clue it was hooked, it didn't know for quite some times till it started coming to the surface, and then all hell broke loose. I was lucky because the pike turned just before I landed it. The pike switched around, and the fly was just in the scissors. But when it turned around, the leader actually went through his jaw and was across the jaw like this. And I thought, one head shake and I'm done. But I managed to jaw that pike because I had no net that day. And the rest is history. The rest is in the video. So never underestimate small flies for pike. Definitely they do work. Okay, we're going to get some rabbit. Get some bunny. The nice one. Nice. I'm a sucker for natural colors. I have this lovely color bunny. This is, I think it's Magnum, this one. This is 6 millimeter thick. All right. 6 mil. Peter, the weight of the whole rod. No, these are details that I really don't care too much. If it feels good in the hand, it's okay for me. I had a guy asking me the weight of the 8 weight the other day, all done. I will weigh it, Peter, and I'll send you that by message, okay? And like that you'll know how much it is. Not to worry. And I'll give you a link as well. If you don't mind, you can go through my affiliate link if you're interested in buying an Epic rod. And like I said, as usual, that's not going to cost you a penny extra, but it's bring me a little bit of revenue. So it's a nice little way to help me as well. So, but I'll get you through on Messenger after, Peter. I'll weigh the rod, and you can get it. Spruce Gum. Oh, I like your name. Thanks for the beer, Spruce Gum. Thank you. Ministry of Microfly, you're late. Oh, what were you doing? Fishing, I hope. Never mind. You can catch up the beginning of the stream. You only missed the first fly. We're just about to tie the second one. Okay. Rabbit. About what's hanging at the back. Put about the length of the hook. Eye to bend. Like that. Don't want too much. Okay, gonna judge the front, and we're gonna cut our length of rabbit. This is a fly that I like to make it heavier, so I use dumbbell eyes, and I use usually these ones are 6 millimeter in size. No problem, Peter. I'll get you after the stream. I'll send you that. I'll put that on a scale. I don't have great scale. I just have kitchen scales. So, but I'll give you an idea of the weight of the whole rod. Okay. Tie these eyes. There you go. Go all the way till the hook starts bending. I like to leave a little bit of rabbit at the front to be easier to finish. So we're going to split the rabbit here. A good way with rabbit is just wet your fingers a little bit and wet the rabbit, wet the hairs, so you find a nice clean break into the hairs. So when you're going to tie it, you're not going to trap any of the hairs. You get a nice flat bunch there like that. There you go. Make sure you can see the pelt, the skin underneath, so at least you know you're not trapping any hairs when you're cutting it. Don't be afraid to use a bit of saliva there and wet those hairs. They'll be easier to manage and wet. Okay, I'll secure that at the back. About 3 turns is plenty. Singe it and bring forward. I'm going to bring back the front, bring it at the back. We leave it behind for the moment, for the time being. We don't need it now. Okay, now second part. Do I miss anything there? I see something's upcoming. Do I cut? I usually cut into a point for the pike flies when I use a Magnum Zonker dirk. I cut them in a point, but I haven't found any much difference being straight and in point for the perch flies anyway. If I use wider than 6 mil, I definitely cut it into a point, but underneath I'll just leave it straight. Like I said, I tried before and I used it and I didn't see a huge difference on the catch rate for the fish, so just don't bother on the smaller flies. But on the bigger flies, I definitely cut it in a point. Okay, where was I? Crosscut rabbit now. And we're gonna get some polar chenille as well. That's great stuff too. This is a good filler, especially if you do pike flies. It'll do for pike flies as well. That's a nice little thing to have. I like it. Not for longer strips, Dirk, for wider strips. Strips that are thicker than 5-6 millimeter. I would cut them in a point for myself. Strips that go up to 5 mil, I don't bother. I just cut them straight. The length doesn't make a difference anyway. But I don't think it makes a huge difference. It does a little bit, but not that much. Okay, I'm gonna clip this one so it leaves me quiet. Okay, crosscut rabbit. Now to start it, that's one I like to cut in point. So I just snip it sideways like that. Just cut that little bit off. Easier to tie it onto your fly. So we're going to start with a crosscut right here. And at the same time, we're going to tie that UV polar chenille side by side. And bring the thread forward. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take the two together, the polar chenille and the rabbit, put them side by side. So you see I have the crosscut rabbit, so I have the hairs on one side here, and then no hairs on that side, and on that side I put the polar chenille. I'm just going to wrap that up. Make sure you push all the hairs back. Just behind the eyes. Again, you can wet all that rabbit. Keep it tame. going to secure the rabbit and the polar chenille just behind the eye, like so, and we can cut off. Make sure it's nice and secured. Okay, now we're gonna get some crazy legs. For this one, I don't put the squirmy stuff. I just go for the predator legs. I like these ones. They're the Magnum one from Airline. They're a little bit wider than the crazy legs. They're flatter as well, so they usually swim quite nice. I like them. Magnum Predator legs. They're pretty good. They're good for your pike flies as well. Like, for pike flies, yeah, from 6 to 8 millimeters, Mr. Kosh is great for bunnies. 8 mil, I push it sometimes to 10 mil when I cut my own, because you can't find 10 mils in the market. They don't exist. But I usually cut them in 10 mil for myself as well, and I kind of like the 10 mil for pike. I just don't make them too long, just enough to get a nice swim, because after they become like a wet sock to cast. All right, we're on the legs about the length of the rabbit. Double it up. I got one. I got a second one, the same size. So we have our two legs, and again behind the eye, we just secure those legs. 50-50. One here, and go for the other one here, right behind the eye. Okay, now all we need to do is the rabbit, we need to split it, push it down half and half, so make sure it's not tangled. Sometimes it might tangle itself a little bit with that polar chenille, so run a dubbing brush or dubbing needle in there, make sure that everything is untangled. Okay, and I'm going to push those hairs again. Use a bit of saliva. That's a great trick for the rabbit to keep it tamed, because rabbit can be a pain in the butt. Thank you, Kolop. Thank you very much for your €5 donation, buddy. All right, once we have everything underneath, push down. We're going to release that rabbit and bring it forward. Okay. And then we're going to secure it just in front of those eyes. Get a good few wraps. And that's why I like to leave a little tag, because I can cut that tag off and then finish it off properly. We've finished that, and then there we have a nice base to put a nice bit of UV resin on that to makes it nice and durable. Cut that off. And where is my UV resin? It's up here. Make sure everything is in place. Nothing is bent or sideways. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Little dab of Wild Man. You're late. You're a little bit late, Wild Man. We're just finishing the second fly. But like, you know, it's okay. You can rewatch the streams after they go. Thank you for the 2 beers, whoever was that. I missed it. Thank you. Whoever you were. I don't know. I think I missed it. Thanks again. Thank you guys. Spinnerbait skirt. Yeah. You can buy them from China super cheap as well. You can use spinnerbait skirt, no problem. It was Mike. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for the 2 beers, buddy. Yeah, you can use spinnerbait skirts as well, no problem. Definitely. Any type of rubbery legs would work. Like. All right, little dab. Push it around. Rabbit really gets everywhere. Fluffy rabbit. Give it a zap. And we're done. That's a little pogs mcbunny. And this little guy will catch you any type of thing. Like it will catch a trout, it will catch you chub, it will catch you pike, and definitely perch as well. So it's a great all-rounder that I tie. Usually I like fishing for trout in rivers with that. I get quite a good few. You're right, Wild Man. No need to be sorry. So yeah, that's a good little one. Really like the pugs. Of course, they can be tied in any colors that you like. I usually am a sucker for natural colors. I like as natural as possible, but you can tie it any color that you want, like, you know. William, thanks for the beer, William. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks again, guys, for all the donos. If you do have any ideas for upcoming streams, type of flies, just get me by messaging. Like I said, I'm starting to work on the next video, and I have a few more planned for the springtime. And we should get the show on the road. It's been fun anyway, all these streams, but they're not over anyway, so I'm just taking a little break and see unless you have ideas, like I said, or you want something to be talked about or to be tied, give me a shout. I'll be more than happy to do it on the Friday. But so far we're okay at the moment, so thanks, Wildman. Thank you. That'd be me. That'll be you. Thank you very much. So yep, that's what I'll be doing, and hopefully you guys will be enjoying it. What's the best time for perch fishing? Perch are really all around, like, you know, we catch them from spring to summer. Thank you, Aaron. Good job. Thank you very much. Off the place for 3 bunny, man. Deadly. Mr. Kush. Yeah. It's always good to have a little bit of bunny in your box anyway, so that's really good. Thank you very much, Aaron. Thanks for the donation, buddy. What do we have? Fry patterns, springtime. Yes, I had some. Did I add some here? I had a few earlier. They're in another box. Yeah, fry pattern works as well. Small ones. That's definitely. I mean, perch will go for anything weird, and if it fits in their mouth, perch will take it. Usually, they are not fussy at all. You can tie any kind of thing for perch. They usually go for it. They're very easygoing. Even small streamer. I like if I tie fry patterns. I tie them. I'll probably would put pictures of the fry patterns on the YouTube community page tomorrow. Fry patterns, I tie them. I like using how do you call that? H2O, the polar fiber, or something. It's very similar to craft fur. I like tying that, and I use as well the very small fish mask as well, and it gives them a really nice finish. I'll be putting a picture of those fry patterns as well, because I really like using them. Do you have? No, we don't have any. Ireland, we don't have that many species of fish, of predatory fish. Three main one: perch, pike, and trout would be the three big predatory fish that we have. We don't have anything else here. We have no bass, no catfish, no zander, nothing like that. So it's basically when we go for a predatory fish here, it's perch, trout, or pike, and that's why, because these three species have a lot of food here. We have a big amount of roach as well, kind of a white bait fish, and a lot of roach here. Bream hybrids, and like I said, the problem that we have with the perch is that there's not enough to regulate them, because the pike have so many roach and other things to eat that shoals of perch are absolutely massive, crazy. I've seen shoal of perch hitting fries in the late spring, and I'm not joking, the shoal must have been about 80 meters long, like on the lake, just boiling, one big line. They had the fries concentrated to the surface, and they were hitting right and left, and it was like a big long line. It was like a snake on the water, and I'm not joking, it was about 80 meters long of just perch hitting these fries. Absolutely crazy. And I fished in that, and I got loads of perch, but to get a perch bigger than the hand is a good perch, like, you know. So if you get like a perch over 2 kilo here, my God, it's a miracle. The lodge record here is at 53 centimeters. Not last year because we were closed, but the year before, I think the one that we had was 48 centimeter and a 46 centimeter. But they usually caught by mistake, guys fishing for pike and catching this perch like that. Quite often they get them sometimes fishing wobbling dead bait. Usually a very small roach wobble does the trick. Yeah, I wasn't gonna go down that way, Chris, but yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, it's a bit too cold in Ireland for that kind of strippers. Martin, how you doing from New Jersey? Good to see you. So yeah, that's kind of the perch to go. Other flies that work for perch is the little kawaii grub as well. I caught quite a few perch, dragging those on the bottom. Again, it's one of the videos on YouTube I have. A little kawaii grub. Let's see if there's a little bit of deer hair. Deer hair with a mop fly back at the back. That camera's a hard time. There you go, some little legs at the back. That's a nice little grubby as well. Caught me many different types of fish as well, that one. This one is same thing. It's on the YouTube channel as well. You can find that. Others. That's another good one as well. Tap toad imitation. These are super simple to tie. These are the wave tails from Paolo Pacciani. These are the small size, and just a little bit of chenille at the front, black chenille, little eyes. So I have them tied on wave tails, and I have them tied with wiggle tails as well. Little tap towels like that. These ones as well catch plenty perch. What else do I have here that catch perch? Those guys as well. A little bit of rabbit at the front, couple of legs, and an ultra chenille at the back. That's another one as well. That's on the YouTube channel too, if you want to tie it. This one too as well. That's the maggot bunch. That's another one. Either way, tied like this with a big bunch of maggot like that, or you can tie it just at the back of the hook like this. They caught me quite a few perch like that. Usually red or pink like that. Works well. Like I said, perch, they go for all sorts of flies, like, you know. So that's another type. Moptail, a little bit of dubbing at the front, and some bead eyes, some dumbbell eyes. That's another one that catch me plenty perch as well. So yeah, 53 centimeter. That was actually caught on Peter on a blade lure, 53 centimeter, and from a tiny pond you can basically cast to the other side of the pond, and that's where that perch, massive perch, came out. I caught in the past on that pond. I caught many rods over the 2 pound mark. We got some big rods in that lake as well. Yeah, Aaron, they definitely are inspired from carp pattern, these flies, and they work well for perch, for pike, for carp. Anything that's grubby like perch would go. Like that's another one with a moptail. There's a grey moptail, burnt at the end, a little bit of dubbing at the front, and some eyes. I'll catch perch as well. All the small, all that type of flies, they all catch perch. Like, do I have any others weird ones? These ones too. Just ultra thread. They're very carp looking flies, but they catch perch as well. So that's basically what I use here. Like I said, I don't use too many bait fish pattern, because as soon as I start using bait fish pattern, I'm just getting pike. So then it gets really annoying, because I get cut off, and I lose flies. AMG Jigs, thank you for the sub. Thank you, guys. By the way, thank you for all the latest sub. I think this month, woo, another one. Raphael, thank you for the sub as well. I think last month I had the best month for subs. I passed over 100 new subscribers. So many thanks to all of you guys that subscribed in the last month. Really nice to see the channel grow. And that's kind of why I'm veering off Facebook, because it's taking too much time for not much reward. So I rather spend time what I like doing. I like filming. I like photography and video editing. So that's why I'm kind of pushing towards more YouTube. If I could just keep YouTube and kick all the rest out, I would. But we're in such a world that you still need to have something. So I'm keeping Instagram, and I kind of check YouTube, Facebook just through the computer at home, but I don't have it on the phone, so I'm not all day long looking at it. So how to find the perch on the lake? It's tough. Usually I like fishing for perch once they start becoming active. So you're talking May. From the month of May, I like to start targeting perch, because you can definitely start seeing them hitting fries in the margins, in the lily pads, or if you have a bush in the water, that usually it's going to hold fries, and usually you get that on mystic. You can't mistake the noise of a perch when they feed you. You hear like you hear that on the surface, and definitely sign of perch. So that's what usually I look out for. I spend more time instead of fishing in the open. I try to wait and see when they're feeding like that. If not, fish it like pike. The predatory fish, they follow the bait. So if you know where the bait is, just try to find the perch as well. The good thing to check is the major of the moon as well. Quite good for perch, because if you know the major and the minor phase of the moons, what happened with the major, you get a change. That's usually what brings the tides out at sea, and it acts, it usually doesn't act on the fish itself, but it acts mostly on the invertebrate. So worms or anything that's lying at the bottom of the lake during a major, they start rising up the column, in the column of water, which is bringing roach and fries and small fish to feed on this small invertebrate. So then you get the food chain following behind. So usually the perch are behind, and then the pike are behind as well. So always good to look at the major and the minors. If you don't know, there's a brilliant app out there, and it's called Fish and Hunt. If you don't have it, what are you doing? You should have that app. Don't go by it religiously, sorry, but it's every day you do get 1 or 2 majors and 1 or 2 minors. And fishing is good on both, and I usually rather the major. So like today, the major was at 3:20 up to 6:20 in the evening. So I don't know. And it's poor, but don't look at the poor, because that's just the strength of the major. That doesn't mean you're not going to catch fish on the day. So usually if I fish the major, I just make the most of it to be in the best part of the lake, if I know the lake, during the major. Try not to miss that time of the day. That can help you as well to get fish moving. Yes, that's right. Usually the perch will follow your fly. Definitely, when you fly fish for pike, they usually are curious and come really close to the fly. So merci Pascal. C'est des heures à passer sur le lac pour l'imitation du cri de la perche. C'est pas évident. Des heures et des heures de travail. But yes, quite often, like paddling says, you do see the perch following your pike flies. So that's a good way to bring a second rod, especially, like I said, during the early summertime. If the pike are not feeding, you can always fall back onto the perch, and then if the pike come back, you always have the rod to get back onto the pikes. So let's see. Yes, Ministry of Microfly, definitely. Squirming worm tied on a widless on a Gamma 325 worm hook with tungsten bead on the tippet. Mini Texas rig. Texas or Carolina? But yeah, I can see yeah, where you're coming. Definitely that'll work as well. Like I said, perch are not really specific. They're a bit like pike. If it fits in their mouth, they're happy to take it. They are glutinous kind of fish, so they are fun to catch for that. One trick for perch as well, if you fish on a spot and you have a shoal of perch, if you want to keep on catching them, it's good to put them in a kip net or something beside you. They do make these floating kip nets for float tubes. They just have a floating ring at the front, and they have like a 3-ring dip to keep your fish alive. So if you get a shoal of perch, usually that's what I do, and that's the only way I can get big numbers of perch in a day. It's that's only if you stay on one spot and you get a shoal. Keep those perch in a kip net beside your float tube. Like I said, those float tube kip nets are fairly cheap now. You can buy them for like 20 euro. You buy a kip net, because what usually happens if you release a perch, it comes back to the shoal and just creates pandemonium. I don't know if they talk to each other, but they usually disappear fairly quickly if you put back a stressed fish in within the shoal. So catch the perch, put it in the kip net, and keep on catching till you hopefully get a big one. And then as soon as the bites start drying out and you feel that the shoal has moved out, you can release those perch and they go back finding their shoal, no problem. And move along the lake. If you find another shoal and start hitting perch, keep them in the kip net. Don't release them in the water, because if you release them in the water, they go back in the shoal and create absolute panic within the shoals, and usually the shoal starts stressing as well, and it moves away or stop feeding because they know there's something wrong. So that's one other tip if you want to keep on catching perch and not just catching one or two. Put them in a kip net. But get a good kip net. Like I said, they make them for float tube. They have a floating ring. They're really handy. You just pop them beside your float tube. Really easy to keep them. They don't stress too much in that net. They're fine, like, and you're not going to keep them for hours on end. It's just the time that you are fishing on that spot. So definitely, if you want to bring up your number game with perch, keep them in the kip net. Don't release them back, because they will mess up the shoal. Definitely. What do we have? Most time when perch stop eating your flies because yes, yeah, that could happen as well. Once the pike comes, I see it when the guys go and try to fish for roach in the morning to get bait. As soon as it gets quiet, there's usually a pike that comes around. Like, yes, you can make flashy flies as well for perch. They'll take it as well. Like I said, you'd be surprised they take anything. Like the most focus. Yeah, that's it. That's my go-to for perch. Like if I really want to find perch, find a shoal, I usually start with that. So you start to get the little ones hidden, and then once you get into the shoal, then I move on to the bigger thing. Hopefully to get a bigger perch in the shoal. Like, but yeah, you can use a silver blade. You can actually use microblades as well. Like they sell microblades for flies as well. You can use a little microblade at the back of the hook. That'll work too for perch. Like it's a little Colorado microblades. I think I bought quite a few of them the other time. I got them from bigstreamers.com. They have gold and silver ones, so they're kind of handy. Very easy. Tie the blade at the back of the hook and put a little bit of, like I did, a little bit of a chenille and a hackle at the front, and you're good to go with a little micro blade. So I think we're getting there. Any more question, people? And yeah, so I think we're gonna call it the night then. I'll wait another couple of minutes if you have any more comments or questions, and if it's good, we call it the night. And I'll be thinking on what to do for next streams, what you like to see, and yeah, it's been a good night again. Thank you very much, all you guys, to come and join. Much appreciated as usual. And yeah, hopefully I'll start making other videos, and I'm looking forward to get into that. And thanks again, people. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the memberships. You guys are just awesome. It's good to have all this community spirit. Very nice. Really enjoy it. And any questions you have, just follow them on my Instagram or on the community page on YouTube, guys. One more question to use. I always use some kind of weight on my perch fly, apart from the bait fish, the little bait fish. Actually, I will take pictures of those bait fish and I will put them on Instagram, and you can see them, the one that I do. Mr. Kush, do you use some poppers? I tried poppers. I don't have them here. I saw them earlier in another box. I have like micro poppers, and I never been lucky really for poppers, unless you hit a shoal that are actively striking on the surface a bunch of fries. When you see them chasing and the water churning, toss a popper on that. I used the Flyman double barrel, the small one, and makes fantastic mini poppers. Very easy to make. Couple of small feathers at the back, and wrap up a hackle in front of those feathers, and stick on the foam head at the front, the double barrel, and you have a popper. Very, very easy to make perch popper. You don't need anything complicated. But usually casting in the water and popping, looking for perch, I never had much luck, but I did got them once you start them churning the water. Yeah, you can chuck a popper in there and they usually will snap it. It's good fun when you see that. Thanks, Peter. I'm glad I helped, and I'll get that weight of the bandit and send it to you after. That I don't forget. Andreas, see you next week. I'm not too sure next week if there will be a stream, unless I come up with something, but you are a member and you are subscribed, so there's no worries. If there is a stream, you will get a notification. Thank you, Ministry of Microfly. Thank you very much for joining. You guys are awesome. Thanks again. I always look forward to do the stream on a Friday. It's good fun. So thank you, and I'll see you on the next one, and or see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me, guys, and have a great weekend. Keep safe, and see you all. See you in the morning, sister. Shh, say nothing. We'll get in trouble. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time, or on the water maybe. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you later.